All right, this is the part 3, continuing our full stack authentication. So to say, we go into the front end. So the backend is ready. We don't care about that for now. If we need something, maybe we will come back to that. Let's go to the client folder and let's install React. So in the terminal, I'm gonna cd into client npm what was the command? Create read latest dot, which means here / template or maybe something like this. Yeah, is it correct? React, create React, npm create read latest. Let me give it a try. Alright. It seems it's correct. Let's see. Yeah. Let's npm install the dependencies and then npm run dev. Npm install
Jay, can you show us again how did you create the React? Because I lost it at the latest.
this is the command npm create read @latest dot means in this folder client -- spaces / template React. I can put it into the chat anyway. Alright, npm run dev to running our React. Alright, let's run it. Okay, let's do some cleanup. In the app.jx, I want to get rid of everything. Just for now, hi. Let's get rid of this state. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. Let's keep this for now. Maybe it's helpful, the CSS. All right, what we want to do is like, I want a nav bar, all right? So something like here, and maybe a logo here in the left side with 3 options here. Let's say a home button. When we click on that, it goes to home, or I don't know, a secret page that we allow the user to see this page only if they are logged in. Let's say a home page, and then a button for register, a button for login page, that we click on them and go to that pages. Yeah, makes sense what we want to do? All right. So we need an navbar component anyway. Let's go to, so inside of the SRC, let's create a folder, components. Also, for the folder structure, you will have components, which is like your components, like general components. It could be a button, it could be product card, or whatever. You will see also there is another folder for pages, like different pages inside of SRC, like a about page, like registration page, like login page, a product page, profile page. These pages, usually you will see it inside of a folder or as a structure here inside of pages. Yeah, we create pages here actually. The general components come here, like a card component, or a navbar. Navbar also comes here. Yeah. So let's create a navbar inside of component anyway. We want to create a navbar .jsx. To be faster, I want to tell the AI to create a navbar for me. Yeah, because it takes time. So create a navbar with logo on the right and home, register and login on the left.
You have a typo, navbar.
Navbar. Thank you. So logo on the right, no. I want logo on the left, sorry. And register and login on the right. It's just position flex, so display flex and space between, justify content. That's it, but let's be a bit faster. Let's see. Okay, it does the styling here, but I don't want you to do this. The styling always goes to a different CSS. So every component or page that you have, it will be, it should have a different CSS file, like navbar.css, yeah, for folder structuring, but for learning purposes. Okay, let's see what is created. It's a component function, fantastic, with a nav, and inside there is a div at the left, which will be our logo, And on the right, we will have a list of 3 things, which is a home, register, and login. And that's a thing for that, the CSS for that. Do you have access to this code, or you want to have the same? Do you have the live share? You can take it.
I tried to check now. Maybe my connection is bad. It's still loading.
I don't know if you still have. So 3 people are here. Mickey, a guest, user 5, and again Mickey, and again Mickey, and a user. I don't know if I 2-3 times Mickey. So if you have it, let's import it in our app.jsx. I would like to put it on the very top of my application. So somewhere here, nav, oops, nav bar, let's close it. Great. But it's somewhere in the middle of the page. It's because of this CSS, the default CSS of the React. If I just get rid of that, just let's see. Oh, do we have another CSS somewhere else?
Yeah, index.
Yeah, this one. This one is used inside of main.jsx, I think. Yeah. I would like to just get rid of that also. Now it looks better. And also let's get rid of this strict mode. Alright. It's the time of actually reviewing React. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So the first thing is, when I click on them, you see now it's just refreshing page, dang, 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 and changing the route. I don't want this. I want without refreshing, when I click on that, this will change to a /register to a /login. How to do this? Let me close all of this, and this, and this. And this is my navbar. You can see we don't use anchor tag in React. The A tag, we don't use it. I'm gonna get rid of all of this. Let's say this is home. Get rid of this anchor tag. Register. And this one go away. Login. So help me to make this changing. Like now it's not changing. When I click on that, it goes to /home, that /register, that /login. No, you're not navigating. Yeah, you're navigating, but it's not the way that it works. So what is in React? If you want to create links, if it's not anchor tag, what was that? If you want to make this as a clickable link, because it's not clickable now, it's just a normal li. And if it was normal HTML, we would use anchor tag. But it's not HTML, it's React. And in React, we don't use anchor tag because we don't want to refresh the page. You can use button also. it's okay if you want to use button, but because we are using UL, then inside of the UL is usually li. Yeah, we need route for that, and also we need link from the React router DOM. Fantastic. So React router DOM, we need to install it because it's not a built-in thing inside of the React, which means let's install it. npm install React router DOM. This package is responsible for routing, yeah, changing the page, going there and there without refreshing the page. Let's run it again, npm run dev. So first thing first, if I want to use React router DOM, I need to enable my entire application that it can use this package. Because we install that. Let's test it for now. There is something, as Jacob said inside of the chat, there is a link component inside of the React router DOM. So if we import link, please give me the suggestion. Yeah, import link. Strangely, it doesn't give me the suggestion. Or there is another one, nav link also. I'm going to talk about the differences between them. But let's see if it's working or not. From React router DOM. So this link, there is another one, nav link. This one. Both of them do the same job, but let's test it for now. Link. Not self-closing. I don't have this snippet that automatically adds to that, huh? Bringing inside our li here. Okay, link is having an attribute. We can say link to where? Yeah, it's just this line is just changing the route here in your browser. It doesn't do anything else. It's just change whatever you want. Yeah, we can say when I click on the home, let me just type something here that will get rid of this error. Slash, let's say, to home, or you can just home. Oh, usually home is the root like address. Let's see what's the error. I just want to see the error. I know what's the error, but let's read the errors now. The requested module, React router DOM, does not provide an export name. This is for before. Let me refresh it. It should be named new. Yeah. cannot destructure property name, blah, 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 blah. I think it's not in this way to import it. And also, if we want to able, and I think it's because we're not providing our application, the entire application, to use these things. I think it's because of that. And if you remember, the error is not that much of clear because it has nothing to do with the use context. But if you want to use the React Router DOM like features, like link or navlink or whatever routes, you need to first wrap the entire application around something named, do you remember that? What was it? Does anyone remember that? Yes. Why I don't remember it. We have a browser router. Yeah, I remember it now. Browser router, this one. Browser router from React Router DOM. You cannot use the features of React Router DOM if you don't wrap around your entire application with this component. This component is gonna come and wrap around your application. Browser router. And it comes inside. All right. Now your application is happy. Now you can see it's not complaining about that error that we had. So when you have your React Router DOM installed, the first thing that you need to do, wrap it around. It gives this feature to your entire application. Okay, I can use the features of React Router DOM. And inside of the navbar, one of the features, it was link. You can link it to everywhere that you want. Like here, you can see it goes to the root. You can say, when I click on you, go to da 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 da. Then when you click on that, it goes to da 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 da. All right? So the job of link is just to change the route here in the top of your browser. But the navlink also is the same. So if I just replace it with the navlink, bang, bang, it's just the same. So if I click on that, it's doing the same job. Do you think, what is the difference between navlink and link, and which one is better? Have you talked about it before? Have you talked about it before? I just need some reaction.
We don't remember.
Yeah, that's a good reaction. Then I know you didn't talk
We are
about
ashamed that we don't remember. You don't
It's
understand
not
that?
being ashamed. I need to know if even somebody listening, because
Yeah, sorry,
if you're not listening, I don't want to waste my time. It's not my job after lunch. I do not work. It's just extra that I do.
And we thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's just, I don't say that you thank me, but it's, I don't know what to say. It's your time. The difference is just only the CSS. you can target this inside of your CSS and just make it beautiful. Yeah. Or when you click on that, you see instead of the link when it's clicked, it's purple. You can change it to something else because it's so ugly now. But about the link, you cannot make it. You cannot add CSS to that. Okay, that's why the nav link is better to use. I hope I'm not mistaken them. One of them, but as far as I remember, one of them is for the CSS. You can add CSS to that. And I think it's navlink. We can ask Copilot for that, but I'm lazy to do that. But navlink is the best one. The one that you can CSS it, like style it. You know what? I would like to ask, because I don't remember it. I want to ask. Oops. Copilot. Explain. Wait. Navlink and link from React router DOM. Which one is better? So is for navigation, and then use cases simply need to navigate. Okay, we know that. Navlink also is like a link. Adding a styling class names. Yeah. The navlink is the one that you can style it, actually. So better to use the navlink. All right. Okay. So the same thing. I'm gonna wrap this around at the navlink component. And then another one. All right, so let's bring them inside. Coming and coming. So it's like when a user or anybody clicks on the register, then I want to say go to /register. When someone clicks on the login, I'm gonna say go to /login. And that's it. Nothing special. Let's see if it's working. Click home, register, login. You can see in the top side is changing that. Register, home. Oh, home is drr. Let's change it to just a slash, which is a home. Home, register, login. I don't like it. It's very dark. I want to make it white. Do you remember how to style a link? When we click on that, it's like it's not purple, you know, after clicking. Do you remember what was the CSS? Let me inspect it. Inside of the nav bar, we have UL. Inside of the UL, you can see we have anchor tags. The nav links are normal anchor tags. Okay, when they are rendered on your browser, they will be translated to anchor tags, so to say. And yeah, the class active. When they are active, like it means when we clicked on that, we can change the color. Okay. How to
Click or no? Or
so, Sorry?
was hover, and then it was three commands, but I don't remember yet.
Can you add me to do it again?
I don't really remember. I remember that we used hover and two other commands, but
Yeah.
maybe someone else can help me.
Yeah, exactly. It's visited, like
Yeah.
it's not about hover. Hover is like when you hover on it, but visited. So I think we could do it like this. Visited. Something like that. Or you know what? I'm gonna target it straight ahead. Because styling it here, let's... How is the syntax? So it's targeting the anchor tag. We can say color white. It's an object. Color white. And then we can say styles.logo, styles.nav. That's just an object. See? We can access to an object, say styles.nav, styles.logo, styles.a. Let's say styles equals to style styles.a, which is our link. Now we can make it visited. Let's say I think the syntactically is wrong in this way because it's an object. So A and visited. You know what? I'm gonna do it with Copilot. Yeah, A visited. It's because an object we cannot do in this way. You know what I mean? Because it's just an object, like link and then an object of that. We can do it straight ahead. You know what? Instead of this, I'm gonna do it style, inline styling. ChatGPT, what are you telling me? What are you giving me? It's so bad. We can do it in this way. I'm gonna add styles, and the styles I'm gonna say visited making the color white as a string. Let me see if it's taking effect. No. That's why I don't like it in this way. I like CSS file. Let me solve it with Copilot. Solve this. I wanna make visited nav link color white. Yeah, we know A visited, but how to do it in line? Okay, it's the way. Because is active, it's built in, so to say. Anchor tags. If you check the navbar UL, and inside we have anchor tags. And the anchor tags, you can see they have a class active. And there is a built-in actually variable that you can check is activated. And then if yes, you're running a function. If the color is activated, white. If it's not, then gray. Something like that. It's too complicated. I don't like it. Either you do it inline in this way or in an extra CSS file. That's much easier. Yeah, I would like to use an extra CSS file. Let's read in an extra CSS file. Navbar.css. Yeah, here we can target A easily, visited. Visited means if you clicked on that, make the color white, not purple. That's enough. And now, instead of this garbage inline styling, I just import dot slash navbar.css. This should hopefully work. Yeah, it's working now. Yeah, does it make sense? Cool, that's much better and more beautiful. Also, I don't like underlines. You know what, let's not just put our time in the CSS. But you know, it's just like a style type none. Yeah, our ULLI style type none, or what was it? Now, the next thing is, so the navlink is responsible. Don't forget that. The sentences that I'm telling you, it's the actual plain English when what you do. So really pay attention to what I say. The navlink is just changing the link in the above and has nothing to do with anything else. Nothing. It's just changing whatever you want. You click on that, you say change the route to this. You click on login, you change the route to this. Does that make sense? Even you can make logo clickable the same way. And when you click on that, it goes to home also. Or you know what, instead of home, I want to make this as a secret page. The secret page, it could be a profile page. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to show a profile page to somebody if they are not logged in reality. But in this case, I just want to make a secret. Let's name it secret page instead of home. Secret page. Yeah, something like that. And then the logo, when we click on the logo, so in this we can say it goes to secret dash page. So when we click on this, it goes to the secret page. Oh, when it was not clicked, it was blue, correct? It's bad. I want also the anchor tag to be completely white. The color. All right, that's better. So the logo, when we click on the logo, then we want to go to the home page to see, let's say the hi is the home page. Yeah. So something like, we say nav link. Come inside. All right, when someone clicks under my logo, then we say go to, because usually in the website you've seen when you click on the logo, it goes to the main page. So we say go to the main page / and let's see, bang, fantastic. Secret page, register, login. Great. The route is changing. And I want to inspect to show you, you will see a little warning now in your console. Oh, we don't see it. I expected we see. But maybe we see it a bit later. All right. So the warning that I expected that we see and show it to you, it's like when you click on a secret page or when you click a registration page, based on the route, you want to show a page that is related to your browser link. For example, here is the registration page link. You have to show only registration page here. If someone clicks on that, then because it's inside of the login/login, we want to show the login page, the form of the login page. Yeah, that's the part of routing in React. And here, usually here, you create all of your routes. Okay. For the navbar, we don't need any special route because navbar is always everywhere. So we want to show it everywhere. That's why we just put it at the top of our application, always stay there forever. Also, it could be a footer. Your footer can be stay there forever. But for routing, we need two things. Importing, I think, route from the React router done. And routes, I think, as far as I remember. And here you define routes, which means first you need the routes component first. And inside of your routes component, you define the special routes that you want to show. So we have only 3 pages in this case, or 4. One is when you click on my logo, it's the entire landing page or whatever. When someone clicks on that, it goes to a secret page. When someone goes here, goes to register, and also the login. So the first route will be what? So route receives 2 things as attribute. The path, which means you specify the path. The path means this. Hey, when someone visits a /register, when the browser, the link in the browser is a /register, that show the registration page. When it's like only /, then show, I don't know, a home landing page. This you define it here. This means when someone visits home page. This means when someone visits the registration page. Yeah? When someone visits here in the main page or the main root of our application, we want to run an element. We want to show something. Yeah? That something could be a little, I'm going to start with the H1. H1, this is home page. We will replace it with a component. All right, I have a typo somewhere. Which typo I have? You're so far fine. H1. Hi. This is home. Okay. I don't know what happened before. Okay, so imagine this, it should be as a component. We're going to create that now. When I click on that, now we can see we show whatever we want. But when we go to secret page, now this is the wording that I wanted to show you. It's like it's telling no route matched location registered, or no routes matched location secret page. Someone visited secret page and the browser says, hey, someone visiting this wants to visit this page, but you are not defining any page to show, because the only thing that we define is if someone goes to the main page, then show this one. Yeah, so we want to create the other routes. I'm going to copy and paste the same thing. I'm going to say when someone wants to visit the register, it should really match what you did to your navlink to change the navlink, because what it does, it compares that. Oh, someone is inside of /register. It compares it exactly what you said here, and they match. Oh, someone is inside of the /register, then let's show this one. So in this case, it could be a component of registration. This is registration page or whatever. Now let's test it. This is going to home page. This is going to registration. So let's create also secret page. So somewhere here. So the path, if someone visits secret page, or let's say profile page. The reason that I put it as secret page, the name of it for now, because we want to secure this page, so to say. We don't want to show this if the user is not logged in. We don't want to allow the user even to get access to this page. It could be a profile page, because you cannot access your profile if you are not logged in. That's exactly the same thing. Have you done such things when you were learning React, like securing some page if someone is not logged in? Too short. It's so bad. So secret page, this is secret page. I got it now. What's wrong? Control X here. Which typo do I have? Here, which one? Okay. Oh, what's wrong with this? I don't get it. What's wrong with this? Ah, yeah. The closing tag of H1. Sorry?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. The close tag is behind. This is secret page. Sorry for these typos, doesn't matter because later we want to change it to a component. So the secret page, the register, the my logo, we just don't have the login. Let's also create the login. So when someone visits login, we want to show a login page. This is login page. All right. This is how you create different pages based on the routing, and that's it. It's not something special. Bang, 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 bang. Does that make sense? Is it working for you so far? Is it clear? If you have any question, if it's clear, I'm gonna go to more thing stuff. So instead of this, because we don't do it in this way, because instead of this H1, it could be really a lot of HTML code, like a form of registration, a form of login. That's why we replace it with a component. Yeah, let's create all of these pages. So for the home page, we don't have anything inside. We don't care about that. About the secret page, so it could be some secret message inside. We can put it there for now. Let's create these two most important components. All right. So inside of pages, because now we want to show a page. That's why it goes here. Let's create a page component of register.jsx. I want to tell our copilot to create that, and you can take it. Create a register form component with so now which inputs we need, it depends on, that's why I at the beginning I said you have to know now the backend how is structured in the schema. Yeah, because we need to know what our schema wants in the backend. The registration of a user, we need to put a username, I think. Username, email, password. There was something else. Age. So 4 inputs we have. So that's why I'm going to tell to create a register form component with 4 inputs. Username, email, password, age. Let's see. I highly recommend that you don't do this when you're developing. You can, but make sure that you understand that. I'm gonna get rid of all of this function. We're gonna do it by ourselves. Okay? That's how these things works. All right. Let's accept this. I'm gonna get rid of, first don't take it that I just update the code. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of every function is somewhere down here. Unchanged value required. We don't need this, all of this. No. Yeah, very clean. And let me from a document, do I have a prettier? I don't have. You can now take it. Yeah, that's just 4 inputs. And let's see how it looks. I'm gonna import it in our app.jsx and replace it instead of this h1. So when someone comes here, we want to show register components and make sure you are importing that. So if we go to register component, oh, it's not showing error. I think we didn't delete what we needed to delete. Let's see. Let me refresh. refresh that we see just the error. Handle submit is not defined. It's
Yeah, you can delete at the form. It was
yeah. It's coming from the line 9 of register. Let's see where is line 9. Yeah, here. Let's get rid of that. Anyway, we're gonna edit it by ourselves, but let's just be clean. Oh, come on, ChatGPT. We expected a very beautiful phone. I could do that myself.
even ChatGPT is giving you the bare minimum.
Yeah. It's, let me just say, what is it? Control I, yeah. Make it a bit beautiful, please. No, don't add. Do not add anything else, just style it a bit. Okay. So bad, so bad. Writing CSS here, it's awful. You don't want to do that. And I can see it's not using that in my thing. You know what? I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna do it myself. Let's just give it, leave it. Let's just leave the CSS. It's just, the main thing is we have a registration form. All right, it's working. So first step is to be able to get the value out of the input. Okay. Oh, I don't like this. What is this? Yeah, it's using the type number. It's okay. How can I get the value out of an input in CSS? In React, sorry.
Target, I saw something that ChatGPT offered us. Target or something? Value, target, what was that?
Yeah, it has something to do with target. Oh, sorry, I'm eating. But how to do it? Like, what is the step? Let's say you wanna, I want you to, whatever here is typed, save it somewhere and console log it for me. I want to do that. How do you do this? Let me make it bigger that you can see. Let me see the chat. Fantastic. Jacob is telling that setting user, we don't have any user yet. Either target.value, username. Username and set username. Exactly. So if you want to take the value from the username, you need a state. So whatever you wanna, we talked about it last time, every reaction that the user have with you, and if you want to save that reaction somewhere, you need a state to save it there. In this case, the user typing something, you want to take that typing something value, you need a state for that to save it there. So we need 4 states. First one is username, set user name, equals to the use state. At the beginning is an empty string. I'm just gonna copy and paste 4 times because we have 4 inputs, and just changing the name. This one is email, and set email. The next one is password, set password. Next one, set age and age. And by default, it's just null. I don't know. Or I think we cannot have a value of null for the inputs. Maybe better to have a 0 by default because it's a number. Yeah. All right. The next step is we need a listener. So a handler that as soon as user clicks on that, your application starts listening. Dot, 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 dot. Whatever you type, whatever changes, it's listening to that and running a function. And that's definitely, you know it, I'm not gonna ask, it's unchanged. And the unchanged goes to every input. So you're gonna say, if unchanged handler is, if something is changing, you wanna run a function. So that's a function. That function, what it does, it's setting. We're gonna use the set username function to, now we can say the target that you set, Mickey. E.target. E.target means the one that the user is choosing to type. So in this case is username, in this case is email. And so it means the elements that it was chosen. E.target means this element input. E.target now is this one. E.target now is this one. So when I say E.target and the mouse is here, the cursor is here, it means E.target. And you want the value out of it, dot value, because inputs has a value inside. We can take the value. So every time it changes, it runs this function to take the value. Yeah. So the same for the others. I'm gonna just wanna copy and paste it here. And this time, when the target, we wanna set, it's about email. I'm gonna set email. I didn't copy this one. So when the email input is changing, this is running and saving the value into the email. The same thing for the password. And I'm gonna set password. The same thing for age. I'm gonna set age. All right, let's test it if it's working. I want to console log username, email, password, and age. So 4 things I'm console logging. Let me refresh and let me see inspect. So the only console log we have, you can see we have 4 console logs. You can see that. The first 3 are empty strings, and the last one is 0. This is the for console log. Now I'm gonna add to username. That's the username, the first console log. The next one is still empty, you can see, and also the next one is empty. The last one still is 0. So da 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 da. This is email. Da 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 da. This is password, and the age. So we have access to all of the inputs. Does that make sense? Great. That's how you can get input value from any input. You need a state and unchanged and set. That's it. Now when you have the all information, then what happens when the user clicks on register? Then we need to do the rest of it. But before that, let's go also create a login page. Yeah, so let's leave it like that. From here, let's go to create a login page. I'm gonna be a bit faster. So create a login component with black glassy style with email and password input. Yeah, we used email in the backend, correct, for logging in. The user can put email and password, not the username. So that's why I'm telling here create email and password. All right. Let me accept this. Let me get rid of all of this, and then later you can take it. Let's make it empty. Handle submit goes away. It goes away. These things goes away. And that's it, I think. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If yes, we get error, no worries. So let's import into our login. So I'm gonna replace it with this H1 with our component login. Let's see how beautiful it is. If I go to login, it's cool. It's much better than the previous one, but it's okay. It's too big, but it's okay. All right, so registration, login, the secret page which don't still have anything, and the home page. All right, let's build. Let's start. We go with registration. Okay, let's continue with that. When we have the values in our hand, and when the user clicks on this, see, when we click on that, it refreshes the page. This is the part that you need to make the request now to your backend, because you have the data in your hand. You want to prepare a nice object for that and send the request to your backend to save it to the database. And it happens when the user clicks on register. First thing first, I want, when I click on register, it doesn't refresh the page. See? This is the default behavior of forms. That's why when you click, it refreshes that. How can I solve this issue for now?
We use something prevent default.
Yeah, exactly. But where?
I remember we used it on functions that we created.
Exactly, but which function to which element should go? Because to
change, end of change end of, how it was. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's okay. But you are close to that. When you click on register, actually it's the form that you click on, because form are special tags. And when you click on the register button here, it's like you clicking on the form. So this means you need to tell the form, hey form, please kill this bad behavior of your child. I don't want to just refresh the page. This means we need to first give the unsubmit. You can do it in two ways. You can give it unclick to this one. When you click on that, then you kill the behavior. But because we have the form, we don't give straight ahead the unclick to the button. We give it to the form. And the form is not on click. We don't click on the form. We submit the form. That's why we say unsubmit. Yeah? The unsubmit always goes to the form, and this means when someone clicks on the submit button, in this case this is the registration, you run a function, yeah, something, to do something. That function we can just save it to a variable for now. Let's say submit handler. Let's create this function. Const that's a function, and we can pass e to that. This we can use e dot prevent default, and that's, I think this should work. Now when we click on the form, or when we submit the form, which is the registration button, it doesn't refresh the page, you can see. Fantastic. Let's console log something, if it's working also. Console log key. Let's inspect. So I'm gonna click on this. 13 times. Fantastic, the unsubmit working. Now that I know the unsubmit working, it's not refreshing the page. Now I can make the request to my back end. Here I need to prepare user object, like the new user object, because it's a new user. Send it to my backend registration endpoint. Then we receive a response from backend, either success or error. If error, show the error to user. If success, redirect user to login page. Does that make sense? With a smiley. These are the steps you need to write in this function. Are you tired? Is it too much? So we say no.
Are you tired? Because you always ask us.
I'm not. I'm not. I just want to know if you don't have power, I can stop it.
Me personally, I find it a bit difficult to concentrate, but I can go for 1 hour again. So it's okay. It's interesting. I'm liking it.
All right.
Finally.
That's a good thing to know. So let's do it step by step. Preparing user object. Const user. That's an object. The object that we have is the username. In the top we got the value and we have it. The next thing we have email. The next thing the password. The next thing age. So whatever the user put it into input, we already have it here, and we just put them into an object. The object is ready. We're gonna send this. It goes to the inside of the body of the request, rec.body. We're gonna send this into the request. The next step is let's send to my backend registration endpoint. How do you make request? With which tool we use that to make the request? Yes, thank you, Jacob. Fetch. So I expect response from my backend when I make a fetch request. And I know the fetch is returning promise. That's why I'm using await. And then fetch receives the URL or the endpoint to where you want to make the request. If I remember, it was http://localhost. My endpoint is like the server running on the 777. /API/auth, I think, /register. This is my endpoint. Everyone agree with that in the backend. We had such an endpoint. Or no? You don't agree? Yeah, Jacob, I don't. Thank you for that. So that's my endpoint in the backend. We have it in routes, auth. That's it. If you want to make a request to here, that's the address. And we exactly targeted that. It comes here. So yeah, as Jacob said, let's not forget the async, because await is not working. It's complaining now. Your function must be async. So let's make our function async. And when the response is here, I need the result, or I usually use the result or the data as a variable name, because I don't know if I get error or if I got a good response. Yeah, it should be a result anyway, and then I check it if it's an error or not. I take the response, whatever is coming, response, oops, this variable with 2n that I've written, dot JSON, because what we receive is a string. With .json we bring it back to normal data, and I'm using await for JSON because also JSON is returning promise. And then let's just console log the result. Let's see. Result. So this step is done. Sending the data, this user, new user, to my backend. But it's not done yet, because I'm telling it I want to make the request to the backend, to this endpoint. But I didn't define the method. I didn't even put this into the request. I didn't do it at all. So I didn't even put in the headers content type application JSON. Because if I do this, it's just, it doesn't find it. I don't have such an endpoint in my backend, which the method is get, because by default the fetch request is always get method. So if I do this, it makes a get request to this endpoint. I don't have a get endpoint with this URL in my backend. We can test it. Bang. Oh, we have also course error. We have to solve that. You get a course and also you get 404 not found. You see, I don't have such an endpoint which is a get in my backend. We have post method actually. So first let's solve the course problem. Do you remember how we can solve the course problem? We did it last time together and you were happy that you saw it and you don't remember it again. So we installed a course. So I'm going to say app.use in my server course. This means allow request from an unknown address that I don't know it. It's okay. It's telling the browser actually. So let's import course from course. Alright, let me refresh. So if I click, I shouldn't get the error of course, but I get this error. Fantastic, that's good, it's working. We don't have any course problem now. So in your HTTP, that in this way that we were sending the request, it was easy. Yeah, it was like we defined the method, we defined the URL, the endpoint, we defined the headers in this way, and that's the data that goes automatically into the body of the request. But with fetch, we have to code a bit more, because we need to put this in the header of the request, we need to put this in the body of the request and stringify that. So here, the second, so fetch receives two things. First is one, and the second is some options. The second comma, you can put some options, or usually they call it config, or so to say configuration. Okay, I'm gonna create as a variable here the config, that I don't want to put it in line in there because it's too much of writing. I write it here. So usually you see it as a name of config or options. It's both okay. So the config is an object with three things. You can say the method, and the method that we want to do is post to this endpoint. The next thing is headers. Headers is an object with, you can type now, content dash type application JSON and then body of the request. So when the backend receives that, it can say rec.body. The body of the request is our actual user, the new user, which means we need to stringify that. Do you remember how to stringify something? JSON.stringify, and then we pass the user object, this one. This is the data that we want to send. Yeah, it's ready, I think. So we defined the method should be post. That's how you put the content type into the headers. That's it. And the type application JSON. And also the body of the request, we stringify the user. You pass these configure options here as a second argument. Config. And this should work. We should receive a result. But this time we should receive errors actually, because they are empty strings, and definitely MongoDB sends us errors. But let's see. I'm going to click on that. Bang. Fantastic. We receive a response. And you can see this response is very familiar to you. Error, user validation failed, username path, username is required, email path required. See? And also, if you check the network tab, the fetch, you can see that it was successfully done. Let me refresh to do it again. Bang. You can see it's 400, the status that we have sent. If I click on that, there is a bunch of information. This is the request that it went to this endpoint. That was a post request. The response that we received, it was bad request. And let's see what we received as a data, what we send to the backend. What we sent, it was just empty because we didn't fulfill it. And the response was this error that we see it in the console log. You can see the error is coming as a string. See, the response is a string. That's why here we say when I receive the response, let's make it back to JSON, and then let's console log the result. And when you see the console log of the result, it's not anymore string, it's an object. Does all of this make sense? All right, now let's fulfill a user. I'm gonna register me. Password 123, age let's say 33, and let's register. Let's see this time what we get. Bang! You can see fantastic, a response that it's telling us it's not verified, the ID of the user and so on. And if I check the network tab, this time look at that. This time is 201. That was the previous one. 201 means successfully created. That's the response we received. And the code status is 201. So this means our backend is working perfectly. Is it working for you? This doesn't make sense. Jacob says, not sure if it works. Why you're not sure that it doesn't work? Yeah. Jacob is putting, where is the JSON stringify? Yeah. Jacob is doing this. It's completely fine. But the user itself is an object already. And when you put another curly braces, it's now a nested object inside. You know what I mean? So no need. If you do that, then you have to change your backend with rec.body.user. There is a user inside of that object. So better to leave it like that. Because it's already an object, so I don't need to put it in another object. Yes, if you want to send more data, let's say you want to send something else, then you need to put it as an object. So you want to send user, you want to send, I don't know, something else, let's say, it's a number, you want to send something else. If you want to send a bunch of stuff, then yes, you can put it as an object and send it there. And the rec.body is not only having the user, it has a bunch of stuff inside. Yeah. In this case, no need. So it's just the user object itself. Make sense? All right. If your registration works, the next step is, then we receive a response, either success or error. We saw that. We need to show a nice error to our front end. Okay. Before that, I would like to let's take a break. Yeah, to finish this part. Let's be back in 15 minutes. 52. Let's be back at 14:52. See you.